Nobody's noticing students just disappearing every so often. Like nobody's gonna question that.
Them teachers like, look, I don't get paid enough to worry about y'all after this
So and
class.
so didn't come in today. Where is he? Nothing. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining the meeting today. This is the Gurren Otaku Council podcast, and this is episode 51, where today we'll be doing a review of Mashle and Heavenly Delusional. But of course, before we get into all that, if you would like to join me, my friend McMillian, as we discuss all things anime and sometimes manga, then please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, as well as follow us on our social media so you can stay up to date on all things about the council. And with that being said, the council is now in session. Let the meeting begin. All right, McMillian, how you doing? Welcome back. How you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How about you, my friend?
I am doing all right. As always, council members, friends, we're going to start us off with some council announcements. And we just want to let everybody know that our Demon Slayer character tier list is now live, of course, on YouTube, as well as all your favorite audio listening platforms. So you can go check that out, as well as our Across the Spider-Verse review special is now live on YouTube, as well as your favorite audio listening platform as well. Mm-hmm. So please make sure to go check those two episodes out. Let us know what you guys think. And then speaking of audio listening platforms, you can now find the Gurren Otaku Council podcast on Good Pods. Once again, the Gurren Otaku Council podcast is now officially on Good Pods. If you listen to podcasts over there, you can now find us on there. And then for our last council announcement for today, we just want to let everybody know that there will be no anime news this week. Didn't have enough time to go do some research and look up some news this week. So yeah, just no news this week. We'll catch up with that next week. Mm-hmm. All right. With all that being said, we'll head into today's first review. Starting us off with Mashle. So I believe, McMillian, this was a McMillian recommendation, if I'm not mistaken. This was one of those, I think you started reading the manga first and then you picked up the anime?
No. So I think I have not read this manga at all.
Oh, okay. So
this is just something I heard about that was like pretty popular. That was getting an anime, and I was like, well, I haven't read it or like looked into it too much. But I know it's supposed to be like a pretty like solid comedy type thing. So
okay, no, I thought. Okay, so I'll take that back. This wasn't a big million recommendation. I thought it was one of them, but it's not. It's okay. It's okay. It's still a good show. You still kind of recommend it though, so I guess we'll give you half points. We'll give you half points for that. So if that's the case, if you've never seen it, then what were your first impressions? Did the first few episodes make you want to keep watching it? So did they grab you?
So the first episode, I don't think I was like really caught by it until like the end. I want to say, like, what was it when he started spiking the fucking spell? I was like, okay, now this shit's funny, and this shit's funny. And then I think what really got me, it was either the second or the third episode. I was like, okay, I think I really like this. I actually really enjoyed this dumbass show. I think that's like where I was hooked though. Like on the third episode is kind of, I think, like where it fully grabbed me. Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's where he meets the blue-haired character, and all bets are off by then.
Freaking fool, because he's a freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, I really like the comedy because it's like, I don't know, it's like a nice blend of subtle yet also over the top, because like it does, like Mash's reactions to shit, it'd be the funniest things. Like when he met the blue hair character, and he was like, Lolicon, and he was like, no, I'm a Siscon. That does not make it better.
Not at all. I was like, what's the difference, sir? You think that makes it any better? Jail. All right, jail. That's what you're going. That's where you're going. You're going straight to jail.
Exactly. Right? Exactly. And great time.
But no, what was even funnier than after that, because then it was like maybe not even 2 minutes after that, he was like, you want to know what's the most important thing in life? And then Master just started going naming all this different stuff, and I was like, what is he? I'm like, he finna say some profound shit or something like that. He was just like, my sister, and I was like, fucking idiot, I'm a fucking idiot. And then he was like, you're a fucking, then he literally said it at that, you're an idiot. I was like, yeah, I am an idiot, because you just fucking told me you was a fucking sitcom. It's just ridiculous. Like, stuff like that, it's just ridiculous. That stuff like it just caught me off guard. I was like, I did not expect to laugh at that, but I did.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You got me. But one thing I did notice, I don't know if you picked it up or not, is they do they do a lot of little different anime parody tropes in this show. And one of it being, I wouldn't necessarily copying, but like paying homage to like different shows and things of that nature. So like even the main character in itself is like in homage, for example. So like the main character is almost similar to like Asta from Black Clover, an orphan who was born in a world of magic with no magic. And then basically, well, he doesn't go join the school, but he joined the Knights and all that. But it's totally different. But it's similar to that. And then it was other stuff like similar to how like they had like the second grades of spells and things of that nature. It's almost similar to like bankais and things of that nature and stuff like that. And I think there was also a few Naruto references in there, like in some of his the way he was some of his fighting techniques and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, the Shuriken character or whatever, I thought was they did like homage to like early Naruto, because fucking Demon Wind Shuriken was one of the most simple yet rawest things ever. And this, you got this character that does nothing but Shuriken magic, and I was like, all right, this is kind of dumb. Did I used to think shit like this was cool? So I don't know. But it was a good time.
Yeah. Just dumb stuff like that. And then the one guy, the guy who could turn himself into a shark, ridiculous. And then just made a lot of different scenes just making me laugh, and I'm like, why am I laughing at this? This is I didn't even think this was funny, but it is. It's like, it's just catching me off guard. It's like, okay, I'm enjoying this way more than I expected to enjoy this, because I went in, with no expectations, basically, because I don't even know what it was, and it surprised me. It really did.
Yeah, no, I was it the bare bones of what I knew was the story was like Harry Potter kind of comedy type thing. Like, it was like kind of like the grounds of Harry Potter, such as like a magical school, magical world. Yeah. And then you had the premise of the character that is super strong but doesn't have it. So I was like a little bit of mixture of Black Clover in there, and that's all I knew going in. Like, I knew the premise and like the genre, but I did not expect it to be like to have the comedic beats that it does. Like, I was like expecting normal comedy parody anime shenanigans, but I think it, like, the way it does it is very like subtle. It finds a nice blend of like subtlety and over the topness, and that it really works for it.
Yeah, I forgot almost forgot to mention the whole Harry Potter parody thing for a second, because it's spot on. They even had the little screaming plant that they had from the Harry Potter movies and stuff like that. Just hilarious. It was hilarious. They even have a rescue retrieval arc in the show.
Yes, that's happening right now.
Just so many different parodies. Like, I'm just loving it.
Yeah, I'm waiting, because I feel like I was like, okay, if they're doing this, there's gotta be a tournament arc in here somewhere, and I cannot wait to see what the fuck they pull off with that. So
yeah. But then, and surprisingly, it's actually I don't know who is the studio behind this, but it's animated pretty damn well though.
Yeah, no, it's done pretty good. Like, it has its own art style, but it works very well for it. Like, how would I describe it? It's like not over the top, I guess, it's like Demon Slayer, but like,
no, not at
animation all. That it does have is very well made for it. Kind of, yeah.
And then they do the same thing with what was I going? Yeah, Dr. Stone. There we go. The over the top facial expression, stuff like that. They do that a lot as well in this show. And
yeah,
I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
You were talking about the over the top faces.
Yes, the over the top facial expressions. Because what was I going with that? With I wanted to connect that to. I'm sorry, I'm just my mind all over the place. What's his name? Mashle. There we go. I wanted to connect it to Mashle and all the different faceless facial expressions he'd be making. Really. How do you feel about Mashle as a main character?
At first, I wasn't really feeling him, but now I'm like, I really like the guy because he's very like, what's the word? Like, I guess blunt. Like he's not like the super smart guy. He's not necessarily an idiot. He's just very direct, and I think that's what makes it so funny because he's like I don't know. It's funny because there's stuff that people do, and he's like, they do it with magic, and he's like, but you could just do this, or you could.
He was like, you're using magic for stuff you can do with your hands, and I was like, he's not wrong, but it don't make it right either, because it's still magic. It's cool, Mashle. Get with the times, all right.
Basically, yeah, and I think it really works for basically what the series is trying to do. Like I think he's very good, a very good character for how stuff is set up. Now I'm wondering, like, as like stuff goes, because this is kind of like also like a battle shonen, or at least that's what like people.
Yeah, part comedy, part small battle shonen, because it does have a few action scenes in it.
So I'm wondering, like, if there'll be like moments where they do like straight serious stuff and not like just comedy bits. But
I don't know, because like even like with the small serious stuff that they was trying to do, like for example the very first episode where the magic police came to their house and stuff like that, and he was basically finna blow up the entire area, and Mashle just path the magic out the way like it was nothing.
Yeah.
And then even, another example, then when they was in the wood, they were in the woods, like in the shooting exams. Mm-hmm. It just hit, like that part just hit me. They like, they was in the woods then. But yeah, when that scorpion popped up, that was supposedly, the strongest one out of all of them. The teacher didn't even warn them about this scorpion.
Yeah, got one shot.
He just papped that one out the way too. Like, fuck is you doing? Move. Just hilarious. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. The reference to tuning exam one. It's just so many different ones.
I guess that, I didn't think of it as a reference to the tuning exam now, but like, I guess now that you bring it up, it is. I guess it's almost like an exact one, because they had like, not necessarily like visiting people from outside of the school, but they were like, oh, we're gonna pair you with like higher grade level people, and that higher grade level person ended up fucking up everybody until they met like the main party. So like kind of similar to Naruto in a sense. Yeah, that is a pretty. If that is what it is, that's a pretty good, reference.
It could be. I could be pulling stuff out my ass, but it's just all the other references. I don't see why it wouldn't be one. So the pacing for this show is actually pretty fast. How do you feel? Do you mind that? You don't like that?
I think it's good. I honestly like it's like they don't waste any time with like necessarily putting Mashle in classes, really, except for like that. What the second or the beginning half of the third episode, really, and it really serves. I think it serves it well because it keeps the story interesting, but also like that you don't have to watch somebody like go through and learn necessarily magic, because you've probably seen that like a couple of different times from other sources. Like, this is what you came here for, is watching Mashle do dumb shit with his muscles against people that have like godlike powers. So I think it serves it well. And it doesn't never feel like I can't keep up with what's happening. It's just like we are moving pretty fast through the whole like we need to get I was about to say Stella's from fucking Spy Family, the gold coins, and then fight off the motherfuckers who are trying to take the gold coins from everybody. So, but I mean, other than that, I think it's doing a pretty good job of it. So I think it just works.
Yeah, no, I agree. The pacing is how fast it is going, but everything's lining up well, is running and flowing smoothly. Mm-hmm. From episode to episode, we're even in the middle of like you said earlier, a rescue retrieval arc right now, and that's been going great. So I'm pretty sure the next episode is the last one. This the next one. It might be the last one of the season. It feels like it the way it's been leaning up, because technically we about to quote unquote, I guess, fight the bad guy for this arc, if you will.
Are we? Am I? Because the last person he fought was the person with the mask.
Yeah, and he was number 2. Now the only person that's left is the
Well, the only thing is, okay. Well, I guess
is
that's
the
true.
boss.
But the only thing
the boss and the other in number 4 and 5.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was like, we didn't see the was it the red hair? No, we did. The red hair guy fought. That was the first one. The one we haven't seen is the girl. And
Well, no, yeah, he's fighting again now though.
Okay.
You right.
Yeah. So like the one that we haven't seen is Lemon and
The
Finn
red hair guy. Yeah.
and Dot. Yeah, the fight off their people or whatever. So I was like, I think we got maybe a few more before it's all over. I think it's like only the ninth. The most recent episode is like the 9th one, and I think this at least has 12.
Is this the 9th one? Yeah, this must be number. Yeah, this was number 9. You're right. It was either 9 or 10. I'm thinking about.
We got 3. We at least got 3 episodes left.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the other show. You're correct. You're correct.
Yeah,
we're on episode 9.
Yeah, the other show is about to be over.
You are absolutely correct. Get my shows mixed up. I apologize. Okay. Well, I'll take that back then. So yeah, I'm definitely interested to see how that goes. But I guess the serious parts of the show that if you can call any in this show would be the how the divine visionaries sort of, I guess, rule over the world with the Iron Fist. Well, not necessarily Iron Fist, but they rule over the world, so to speak. Everybody was saying they're basically like gods, so to speak. And how basically, if you basically your magic power is your worth. Also, actually kind of similar to Black Clover, just like in that show. How basically, your magic power is your worth. If you're not a strong, magic user or come from a noble family, a lot of the time society doesn't really care about you. And you see a lot of those similarities in Mashle as well.
Yeah. I think was it a good, I guess, quote unquote serious moment from the show. I think was actually happened in the most recent episode where Lance was fighting one of the people from Lupus, I think is the name. Yeah. And he had a whole flashback of how his dad didn't find him like useful or worthy because even though he was like a double line magic user, he wasn't producing anything. Like his magic skill wasn't getting really all that it wasn't really all that recognized or good in, like, I guess
he wasn't the
society.
prodigy.
Yeah, he wasn't like the thing he wanted him to be. And I was like, well, fuck. I mean, anybody could, relate to that or like see that and understand like what's going on. And I felt like that was a pretty good serious moment, like the end of fight for the show. So like the serious moments are good. They're probably not gonna like be as good as in most other shows that play stuff for seriousness, but I think what they've shown so far has been they've done well. They've done well with it. So
yeah. Also, attention to that, how his sister is basically losing. His sister got sick, and she's basically losing her magic, and becoming a no-line person. And it's crazy because I forgot to mention. So basically, people with no magic in this world, it sounds like they basically kill them. So
yeah, that's what I was thinking based on like how they reacted with the first episode, finding out that when Mash went into town and he had no line. And the cop was like, we got to take him in. But they never said exactly what was going to happen to him. Or if people with no lines can be born, what do they do with the no line? Because that wasn't ever like, they explained everybody else. Double liners, single liners. But the no line people, none. So, yeah, they probably do just straight up murder him. I would not be surprised based on how they talk about, based on the reaction to MASH and just how people talk about people with no magic. So.
Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, I guess that would be the darker side of the show. But like I said, I don't really expect them to fully, really explore on that much part about it. But no, it's there though. It's there.
Yeah, I doubt that they probably touch on it just based on how the show's premise is. Although I would be interested to see how they go about that and still make it comedy.
Because nobody's died yet, so they might, if they want to,
but people
touch a little bit on the darker side, they might kill off one of the characters. Who knows?
Maybe, but people have been turned into puppets, and I remember watching this with. I remember watching this with Aaron. And I was like, so they have a police force, but they don't interrupt shit like this. Turn
Yeah.
niggas to puppets.
That was kind of the dark, because that is a dark moment. That man in there turning students into puppets, and nobody's out here looking for these people at that. Like, they're just gone. It's just, oh well.
I was like, well,
they got grabbed by a magical wyvern or something. Just, oh well. they're just dead. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I guess. this is what they do. I mean, that Wizard Society.
Nobody's noticing students just disappearing every so often. Like, nobody's gonna question that.
Them teachers like, look, I don't get paid enough to worry about y'all after this class.
So and so didn't come in today. Where is he? Nothing. Not a flyer. Three students have gone missing in the past 3 weeks. Just nothing.
No parent calling up to school being like, my baby hasn't called me in a week.
But yeah, we worried about people with no lines on their face. Hey. Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Society.
Oh man.
One thing I did want to ask you though, how are you feeling about the soundtrack?
The soundtrack also reminds me a lot of like Naruto as well, because I don't know, a lot of shows been feeling like that recently, but definitely this one as well. It has like almost that same tempo and like style beat to like those Naruto OSTs.
Maybe I don't know if you've noticed. You know, it's like just straight Japanese hip hop, right?
I did not.
You haven't noticed that? Okay, you gotta.
I did not.
You after we done recording, you gotta go back and listen to just like the score sometimes, because it is just straight hip hop. Like I'm not even joking. It is the funny, and I don't know if it makes it like funnier or not. But the first time I noticed that, I was like, it's just straight hip hop tracks. Where the hell?
I'm about to go back and listen to it. Then I guess I got a whole separate set of ears than you got over there. Then
he's like, I did not notice.
I don't know what's going on. You got me over here pulling it up now. I can't do that right now.
That just speaks to how good the comedy and the writing is, I guess.
Yeah, no, I didn't catch that at all.
Yeah,
okay.
No,
Okay, so any other characters, not any other characters, I guess, who is your favorite character then so far?
If I have to go by, I don't like, so it's so hard.
And it's kind of hard
with comedies, because I'm just like, none of the things that like my favorite, that makes a character my favorite, usually shows up in comedy shows. So usually with comedies, it goes by the character that makes me laugh the most. And right now that's Dot, because that man is, you want to talk about how Lance is a fool. Dot is just so funny to me. He's the fact that they made a character purely based off of like a white knighting and being like, I'll do anything. Like, he is a simp, but like he is like the example of like what a terrible type of simp is, or it's like, women don't like me because I'm not handsome. And then he acts out his embarrassment in the weirdest ways, and I'm just like, I was like, I hate him. If this was a real person, I'd hate him, but this is hilarious in this situation, in this context.
I'm done. Yeah, no, Dot is a fool. For me, I think it would have to be, if not Mashle himself, it'll have to be his dad and the cop that came and gave him the deal. They
are definitely a funny pair. I really liked when the episode with the maze, how they were just out there and hiding behind a bush, and the only people that noticed them were the other students, not the headmaster giving the test. Nobody else, just like the background student characters. Like, what the are these old people
doing? What the fuck are y'all doing? I mean, what's even funnier is that, you know, that man came to kill y'all basically, and now y'all just all buddies and everything. And then they're both worried about Mash, but for like two totally separate reasons.
Out in the forest camping, and I don't understand.
I'm following this man. Well, not every move, but they definitely following this man.
Man, yeah, that's definitely one of the good tropes of the show.
It's just hilarious. It's hilarious. So yeah, that's my pick right there. The pair, his father and the cop, the magic cop.
That's a good one. Um, yeah, no, but the show's a really good time. The characters are pretty good. I like all the tropes and stuff that they introduce. Um, I'm really interested to see, I think, how these next couple of fights are just going to unfold, because they introduced like what the character with the mask, Razor, has that ability to apparently like negate magic, and I'm just like, and how they were like, I was even though I'm a double liner and all this stuff, like I was shunned because I have a thing that like blocks down magic. So I was like, oh, okay, even if you have like an OP ability that takes away magic.
Oh yeah, and then I'm glad you just
You're not seen as a
brought
good
her
person.
up. The Mess User, that's another parody to Obito.
Yeah. Although it's always funny with characters that wear masks, because I'm just like, why do you functionally wear a mask? And because like if it's like the character, unless you're like a character that people have seen before, but that was not Obito nor well, technically it was and it wasn't, because like we didn't know or we weren't supposed to know it was Obito, but I think everybody with half a brain or playing Kingdom Hearts,
you put two and two together.
you know how to rearrange names. You know who it is, but like at least for this one, it's like, but you were introduced with the mask. Like, who the fuck are you? And like, why is that important? But then you learn about the whole eye thing, and you're like, oh, okay, well, they're just mean. They're just mean to a whole bunch of people, aren't they? All right. Cool.
So yeah, no, it's a good time. It's a wonderful time. So, your favorite comedy bit so far, then, from the show?
Oh, that's hard. That's hard.
Well, why are you thinking?
There's a lot of good ones. Okay, go ahead.
Mine's is the scene where they're in the forest and they got done fighting the Silver Rock guy, and then the old girl that was with them, she was like, he made me do it and all that, but really, she was on his side. And then Mashle just comes up behind her and he thinks he's just giving her a hug, and he suplexes her.
That's definitely a good one. That's actually definitely good. Mine, okay, besides that one, because that's really good. I think one of mine it's a very small one, because it's in the episode, I think, like right before they do the lupus stuff. Was it Lemon shows up to Mash's room, I think, to try and like get them to come study with her or something, and Dot, besides Mash and his roommate Dot and Lance are there, and she's like, oh my god, a room full of boys, what are you going to do with me? And Finn is like, you came here uninvited. What are you talking about?
Like, what are you talking about? Like, see, like, this how y'all get people on charges right here. You came in here.
Exactly.
Nobody even looking for you.
Exactly. That had me dead the first time I heard it. So I'd probably go with that one.
Yeah, no, that was hilarious, dude. Yeah, no, Lemon she's a character. She's a character.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see like if we'll ever get like an episode like focused on her, because right now she's very much kind of like.
Well, technically, the arc we're in right now is focused on her. Technically, if we're getting technical here.
Oh, because they're trying to rescue her.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's true. But I mean, like, more so when she's, I guess, not a damsel, because both of her like major things right now are, I need help to pass the test, or I'm like blocking Mash so I can get into the school, and now I guess I need to be saved by my male friends. And I know technically like it's a comedy and I shouldn't be looking for like deeper writing necessarily, but I would like to see if she gets her own, like, even if it, because it's a comedy, I just feel like if they make Lemon the hero one time, it's going to be the funniest shit ever. So I hope that it happens.
How dare you look for deeper plot points in this comedy anime?
I mean, sometimes you want a nice blend. That's all right.
Okay. Any other questions or anything? Topics you want to hit up on before we rate this series?
No, not necessarily. I am wondering. I mean, this is necessarily a question for you or anything like that. But I do wonder, and nobody put this in spoilers in the comments or nothing like that, please. Who's the next? Like, what's the, or I guess, like, what's the enemy or villain after this? Like, are we going after teachers next? Is there another class of students being like evil people?
Probably just
I
gonna
wonder
be
what's-
another class of students out here. Or shoot, I don't know. He already got a gold coin. I wouldn't be surprised by the end of this season. He close to already being a divine visionary.
Yeah.
The way this pacing is going.
Maybe the next villains are the divine visionaries. Maybe that's the thing, or a different school. I wouldn't be surprised if they throw up a different school somehow. Yeah, but
Okay.
I mean, I ain't got really nothing else other than like ready to rate it.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the case. So the episodes that's out now is up to 9. So yeah, we're gonna be basically rating the series up to episode 9. I would give this a solid 7. Went into this not blind, essentially, not knowing nothing about the series, and I'm actually really enjoying it. Like I said, it's actually making me laugh at stuff that I didn't think was gonna be funny. The characters are actually interesting. Some of them, because I don't know, Dot is annoying to me a little bit, and then I hate how Lance is trying to be cool, but then he has this CisCon complex, and it's just I understand, but it's
that's what makes it funny, I think. But go ahead.
It's like I want to root for you, but at the same time I don't. Just go to jail, sir. But then it's like, but you're trying to save your sister's life. It's like, just tone it down, son. Can you do that for me? Just tone it. Let's just tone it back. How about that?
Turn it down just a bit. I think I'd have to agree. It's like a 7.5, only because like kind of how you said, like I didn't expect it to be like this good, and that shouldn't take points away from anything. If anything, it adds points, but more so like I'm enjoying it. It is a very much kind of turn your brain off type show, and I don't mean like it doesn't have good story or anything like that. Like you don't want to pay attention, but it's more so just like this is a, I don't know, comfort, maybe feel good is probably a better thing. Like you could turn it on and you know you're gonna have a nice time. Yeah, and you ain't gotta think about too much. You ain't gotta worry about like.
You ain't gotta worry about theories. You ain't gotta worry about that guy you saw from episode 3 coming back to kill us or something. Just.
Or if that is the case, it's probably gonna be a background character. It's gonna be like, y'all don't remember me? Yeah. I was there with the test with y'all. It's gonna be like an arrow pointing at it.
I was there since the beginning.
Flashback to an arrow pointing at a character that wasn't even like drawn in or something like that. Like that type of it's that type of show where you don't necessarily have to like get in the weeds of the plot.
Yeah.
But like if you're paying attention, you're in for a nice ride, I think.
Yeah. 100%. The only thing you really need to worry about is just cream puffs. That's it.
Yep.
Just cream puffs.
Yep. And the ending song will have that filled if you decide to watch it.
Well, alrighty. So that is the end of the
Mashle.
There we go. Mashle review, everybody. Let us know what you think down below in the comments. So heading on to our next item on the agenda, our weekly recommendation. And speaking of more comedy animes, our weekly recommendation actually lines up perfectly with today's other anime reviews. We're going to be today's weekly recommendation is Handyman Saito in Another World. It is an isekai where we follow our main character Saito, who one day he is on his way home from work. Then, what do you know? Good old Truck-kun comes and unfortunately ends his life. Where then he wakes up in a world of fantasy to where he's still a handyman. So he's basically going around doing odd handyman jobs in a fantasy world. One of the things I like to really compare it to is I like to call it an anime version of Robot Chicken, because essentially the episodes consist of following along with the main cast and whatever they're doing for the episode, and they're also telling other small stories along with that at the same time during the regular episode. It's weird, but it's a good time and it's really good. But it has action and comedy in it, kind of similar to Mashle as well, and it's a really good time. It has become one of my favorite guys in here recently. Yeah, so definitely check it out.
It was a good watch. I enjoyed it as well. It's another one of those kind of feel good type shows where you go in, don't expect too much, but what you get is really nice.
Yep, I agree. All right. Well, once again, this week's weekly recommendation is Handyman Saito in Another World. So please go and check that out if you have not. Let me know what you guys think about that. And all right, so heading on to our last item on the agenda for today, everybody, our Heavenly Delusional review. So we actually reviewed this when it first came out. We reviewed the first 3 episodes. So this is us coming back to it, and we're probably gonna have to come back into it again when this ends because this last episode they left us on the cliffhanger, and so definitely probably gonna have to come back and talk about this when the final episode drops, because I believe 12 is the last one. It might be a little bit longer than that.
I think you're right. I believe it's 12 episodes as well. Oh no, 13. It's 13 episodes.
So it's 13. Okay, so we got 2 more. Two more episodes. So we'll probably, when those 2 episodes come out, we'll probably review this into like a smaller segment just to talk about those, whatever relevations came out of that. Yeah. So Heavenly Delusional. Last time we talked about this, our characters, what were they doing? I think they had just fought the fish man eater.
Fish? It was the episode right before that. So basically, we got to them. The last man eater they fought was technically the first one that showed up in the series, the one on the farm.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the episode 3 was basically them getting to the sea or a boat or like wherever they need to go before they fought like the fish man eater. And then from there, it's kind of like from fish man eater to now is basically all stuff we haven't covered.
Okay, all right. So we'll do it like this then. We're gonna talk about all the basically the secrets and mysteries that got revealed from those episodes, and they'll talk about them and just any other stuff at the same time that you want to hit up on. So we'll go with there. So one thing we did learn these past few episodes is that the people out in the world, maybe the people in heaven though, but at least the people out in Tokyo, the regular people, they don't really know. It looks like the great disaster, whatever it really truly happened, it got lost in time because of all the other different catastrophic events that follow, like snowstorms, there we go, tsunamis, earthquakes, all that things of that nature,
natural disasters basically.
Natural disasters. So it seems like the story of the great disaster got lost to time, which is crazy. I'm sorry,
no, I was just agreeing.
Okay. Thoughts
on it's interesting because one thing I'm always trying to figure out when I'm watching this show is the parts of the school. I'm like, is that current? Is this concurrently running? Is this in the past of what the other characters is doing?
I'm pretty sure it's in the past, and I'm gonna get to my theory on why I think that is a little bit later. But I'm pretty sure all those scenes we're seeing with the Osaka Academy, I think that's what it was called.
Yeah, I believe you're correct.
Osaka Academy. I believe those are in the past.
Okay, but like that's something I'm always anytime like people talk about current events or past events in the show, I'm always like, anytime, like, I'm like, okay, dang. I mean, that's crazy. Because, like, I'm always, like, wondering, like, what the fuck caused this? Was it the monsters? Was it... Because it wasn't. One of the theories was, like, oh, they got into a really big war, and the man-eaters turned out... were basically biological weapons that kind of caused the disaster. But then we learn later on in the series that apparently there might be a disease that causes people to become manhunters.
Yeah, once again, I'm gonna get into that a little bit later too.
But I'm just going through like basically my thought process.
Yeah.
And so it's always interesting. I think like whenever they bring that up, I'm always thinking of like timeline of it. Like I'm trying to keep a timeline of Heavenly Delusion in my head of like when things are happening, because so much information gets dropped on in an episode for like stuff to work. Like to work out and like to figure out. So that's always interesting to me anytime they like talk about the past and like what kind of led up to where we are right now.
No, 100%. I feel you on that. One of the another things we learned, I'm just going to discoveries here. So we know that old girl, not Mara, what's her name? Kiriko. There we go. We learned that Kiriko was looking for somebody that she knew in her past life, and we found out that he is still alive. And we even got to saw him in this last episode, and that they're actually looked like they was near him. The episode that the way it ended, they didn't go over to the facility where he was at yet, but hopefully that happens within these next 2 episodes here. We get to see what's going on with that.
Yeah. He don't look good. He looked tired as hell. Like when I saw him, I was like, he did look tired. Because for a second, I wasn't even sure that was him. I was like, what the? I was like, you look familiar, but at the same time, you don't. And I had to remind myself. I'm like, oh, that's the guy that's a black haired dude that they've been looking for. And I'm like, what facility is he on and out of? I was like, what's going on here? Like, what's happening? Like, what's the secret? So I'm excited to see what's coming next. But it is, I think when they got that first hint of like who he was, I was like, okay, we're picking up at least in like this part of the story of figuring out who it was. The episode in which that happens, though, a lot of shit happens. So
yeah, I did.
So it's just crazy, but I'm interested to see finally like what their story is culminating to. Honestly, I'm interested to see what both parts are culminating to. But like, I'm getting a little bit more from the school right now than I am the other one. So I'm really.
Oh no, the school scenes are the best part of the show. They're the best part, hands down.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like in a show like this, you would think, I guess, like there'd be more action oriented, like that more action parts would be more interesting. But I get so much like world building from the
lore.
school.
You get all the lore during the school parts of the scenes and stuff like that. But let's go ahead and hop into a little bit of that lore. So one of the major plot points that got revealed throughout these few episodes that released here was that. So it's either one or two things going on. It's either when we first learned it, the Dr. Umi, he says that there's a disease that is turning people into manhunters. Essentially, like basically when they die, they turn into manhunters. We also learned that there's people walking around Tokyo that are possibly these hero codes that we learned a little bit more later in these in the further episodes, like 10 and stuff like that we'll get to later. But there's people like that walking around here in Tokyo, so we know that there's more human half man-eater habits that's just out there in the world now. They exist, they're out there, and who knows who they are. We even know that most recently with the I can't remember his name, but I'm just gonna call him Boar 11. Boar 11, his child. Apparently, he's one of the half human, half man eaters type breed persons, and I don't know. It's almost like he can transform too. I believe because
it didn't seem like he could transform, but it did seem like he had the ability to encase himself in ice or something like that. But he didn't turn into a monster.
So how do you explain? Because they didn't kill the monster that was causing the ice.
Yeah, but the thing was, when they encounter, I don't think it's the same, that those two kids. So you don't think you don't think those two things are the same? The kid, so you don't think the kid was the monster? Yeah, because the thing is, when they encounter the rest of the boars or whatever, they explain what happened to them, and they are like, "Oh yeah, no, that monster came through the gate and destroyed that settlement almost like immediately after sometime after Juichi escaped, like Boar 11, and they ran off with his kid in that flashback." So I was like, unless he can psychically project the monster or something like that, then he can't be the monster.
Yeah, but that doesn't explain why they have the same powers. Then you're right.
Now that I don't understand. Well, granted, they haven't explained how man-eater hybrids or man-eaters fully even work. What gives them their abilities or shit like that, anyway. So I wouldn't know what to like draw the line that too. But it is odd. I will admit, it is odd that the child has the same powers or similar abilities that the actual man-eater does. That which brings me to wonder if the man-eater that we did see in the thing, could that have been the kid's mom? like, because we know that man eater, because we know also that after you die, if you have a disease or something,
you turn
when
into
you die,
the
you turn
man
into
eater.
a man eater.
Yeah,
And
that's a possible theory, and that's actually a real strong one too. Because we know it was two. He had two moms, and they could have fused together as well. Who
or
knows?
something like that. Yeah, because we don't know what fully happens when you turn into a man eater. The only it's a lot going on.
Okay.
It's a lot going on.
Okay. No, it is a lot going on. Okay, yeah. And then the other thing we learned about man eaters, so the reason why it's either disease or experiments, because we learned that the people at Osaka Academy are, I don't know, growing man eaters. And then I think we kind of did get the confirmation from these last episode that the children are hero codes. So I don't know what's going on, like, because they're doing some type of experiment. We don't know what, but the kids are definitely in some type of experiment.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, because I'm so interested in this because like when they first show up in that like little nursery thing, I'm like, those are baby man eaters. What the fuck is going on? And then we get a flashback of them playing with a like what they call the eldest member of the children, and it's this kid that looks like an alien, and I'm like, what is
what's going on here?
Because of my suspicion, as we slowly progress through the story, I'm like, these kids are too strong, they're too agile, they're doing shit children should not be doing, and so I'm like, are these like are they mutants? Are they man eaters pretending to be humans? What's going on? And I was like, and then the people who are over them, I'm like, are they human? Is their job to try and integrate these man eaters into human society and figure out like, are these gonna be like humans 2.0? Like, is that like the lie they're gonna kind of tell themselves, kind of basically?
Yeah, because we learned that there's, this is an experiment going on, and maybe they're being backed by some other people, because we saw them having meetings with, I guess, some type of group that they're a part of and things of that nature and all that. So we know that there's other humans, invested in this experiment and stuff like that. That's not necessarily directly involved with it.
Yeah.
As well as, apparently they're out here stealing people's bodies as well, because we learned that the director is gonna implant her brain into her up and coming director.
Yeah.
So and then, she plans on doing that.
And then
so maybe they're trying to achieve mortality, because then after that she's gonna implant her brain into Tokyo's child. Yeah, which I believe is actually, which is Mara, which we're going to get into a little bit later, though.
Oh yeah, no, I thought that too. The moment I saw, so it's interesting because another thing about like Tokyo's kid, when they put Tokyo, like when the one doctor puts Tokyo's kid to
twins,
bed, twins. There's another one, but the thing was they didn't say anything about it during her labor. I mean, they normally be like, oh, there's another baby.
But think about it though. Like, but the director was like, keep Tokyo child. Make sure you raise the child properly.
Well, the thing I was thinking
was she wanted to put her brain inside of a male? Maybe not necessarily.
Well, the thing I was thinking was that other Junior 2, as it was labeled in the episode, could be that man eater that we saw in the like earlier.
Oh, and it took on this human form.
Yeah, and it because it seemed to have bonded or took interest in Tokyo.
Cooking with grease now.
Yeah, transformed into basically a different version of like Tokyo's child.
You hit. Ooh. Ooh.
So. Like I said, there's a lot going on. Oh,
I like that one.
Yeah, that was my thing, because I was just like, normally in shows or movies, they usually make it a point to be like, okay, this motherfucker's like pregnant with like 2 kids.
I like that one.
Especially because, and I don't.
And then you know what? Then they showed us the ultrasound as well, and they only showed one baby.
Baby, yeah. That's what I was about to say. I was like, they went through the process of like showing Tokyo through her whole like being like, going through the process of child bearing and stuff like that, and they didn't, and nowhere in the notes, meetings, none did they were like, there's another kid. They were just like, how did they figure out sex? That was their biggest thing. And I just felt like if she had two buns in the oven, they would have been like, there's twins. And that would have been like, what the fuck? What the hell? Like that would have definitely been like a big surprise. I feel like they would have just announced that. So I'm very interested to see like what the kids at the school are, because the more stuff unfolds, the more I'm just convinced either they are either man eaters or they're man eater hybrids or something.
Yeah, I know 100%.
Because like the fact that one girl, like the fact that they're doing abilities that normal children would have, and then two, like some people are seeing visions, other people seem to like have extraterrestrial abilities. The fact that like we just got
even extra, not necessarily appendages, but mutated appendages. So like meaning she has almost like bunny ears essentially.
Yeah, and the fact that the fact that like she was talking to Tokyo's love interest, I forget his name, but the fact that she was
Conan.
talking to him. Thank you.
No, I thought it was Shiro though. Who she was talking to.
I thought it was Kona.
I thought it was Shiro.
Oh, okay. I if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
But I know the scene you're talking about though.
But yeah, but when she saw him transform into a man eater, that was like, bleeding.
That scene. I thought you was talking about when she was outside and looking up in the ceiling and she could see the alien that hung herself.
No, that was wild too, because I was like, what the fuck? But this one, where she was like, I see visions of stuff that that's happening or hasn't happened yet.
Or hasn't, yeah.
And I was like, okay, so he turned into a man eater. So I'm like, either this kid dies and becomes a man eater, or he goes through a major mutation and just becomes like that form of whatever he already is, you know?
Yeah. And then even on top of that, what another thing that what I think the reason why this is like in the past, maybe not far in the past, because I do think, like I said, Tokyo's Child, I do believe that is indeed Maru. And then on top of that, it looks like those, from the way episode, I believe 10, and the way the episode ended, the last one, the most recent one, it looks like that they're about to release the children out into the wild. So
and what's crazy, I don't think that's a part of their plan. I think that's the AI. Mina?
That's I don't know. Because what we know is the two scientists and the up and coming director, they're in on some type of plan. I don't know if Mina is a part of that or not.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know if Mina is a part of it either, but I know Mina is doing shit because she's the one that set off the alarm when the kids were in the nursery and led the other doctor away. She there's other stuff that the AI has been doing that I can't fully like name or like quite remember right now.
Erasing footage. So like whenever the kids are like in the hallways and stuff and they're supposed to be on one of the security cams, it's almost like she erases it and rewrites it and stuff. Yeah. It makes it seem like they're not there.
Thank you, because I was like, I know it wasn't as big as that one, but I was like, there's other small stuff that she's been doing that I'm like, there's something going on. She has her own plans as well. It's a lot, and I do wonder, like, if this is like leading, like you said, like, because even when I saw Tokyo's kid, I also was like, that's Maru. That would explain like why Maru has these abilities, and is also cracked out for no reason.
Yeah, essentially.
So I'm also thinking, like, basically at the end of this episode, I'm pretty sure it's happening in the past, because that's one of those kids is Maru.
Yeah, and my theory is the doctor that Kiroko's trying to find, he used to be one of the scientists at Osaka Academy, and that's how he knows how to essentially do the brain transplant that saved his life.
Probably. I ain't put that together, but that is probably
or he knows some people from the academy and he got them do it.
I don't doubt it at all, because again, like where we left off as far as like that character, there's a facility out there that's doing a lot of power, having a lot of tubing, and granted, the last time I saw a thing like that, it was to keep a woman alive so she didn't turn into a man eater. What if this is the vice versa of that now, and they're doing more? He found
experiments.
Yeah, I mean, especially if he came from the Osaka Academy where they were already experimenting on man eaters.
Yeah.
What is, like, he could probably be doing some advancement of that research.
But which is even crazier because if my theory is correct, and even though the scenes we've been seeing from the academy is in the past, it's not that far in the past. So that is so we know
No, I mean,
whatever event that's about to happen, that wasn't the great disaster. So we still don't know what what truly caused the great disaster, and how that happened.
Yeah, because no, you're right. Because if anything, if the school is in the past and Maru is indeed Tokyo's kid, then it's only been
like what 15 years at the most. Yeah,
like that. I was about to say 15 to 16 years because I don't know if Maru's ever gave a definitive answer
but he's
for
a
his
teen
age.
though. He's a teen.
He's a teenager, so at least somewhere within the teens. So we still, as you said, the bigger, broader mystery is still like what caused this shit to happen, right?
Yeah, and then I guess ultimately the bigger, broader mystery is we still don't know fully where man eaters come from. Like there's hints in there, hits here and there, like it's a disease and could be a possible experiments, but we still don't have a concrete answer on what the heck is a man eater and where do they come from.
And then another bigger answer: why is human DNA incompatible with man eaters? Besides the fact of like it just being a disease.
Yeah.
Like. Were we the origin? Is that the
why are we out here swapping brains with people's body? Are we trying to achieve mortality? Like I don't know.
What is up with all like the snatching bodies recently in anime? I
don't know. I don't know. It's been a hot trend recently.
Like Orochimaru started some shit, and I don't like. But Heavenly Delusion has been popping off with its most recent stuff. Like, I mean, all of that was just like the 4 through 9 in terms of like episode. Like even like the world building has just been crazy. Like finding out the disease and then figure like that leading like that whole way that even got found out. Like with Maru and that girl and her trying to solicit sex with him, and he'd be like, "Hey, I can kill this girl by touching her. Oh wait, we gotta put clothes on. I can kill her." One thing I really admire about the show, I think, is even like within like its bigger revelations, it does it in such like small or like the way it does it, it feels so natural. Like it doesn't feel like anytime like it makes a reveal, it doesn't feel like too earth shattering. It feels like something that just like came up in conversation.
It's because it's how they handle the Osaka Academy scenes. I'm telling you, it's just the best parts of the show.
Yeah, no, I'd probably agree. I mean, it's so interesting too because I feel like if you're not a person who like really likes detailed plots, every time the school probably comes up, you're like, man, what the fuck is this shit? And I'm over here like, yeah, yes. What's the information?
Let me know more. What's going on? Let me know more.
Go over to my theory map. Yeah, so if this happens.
So this, but wait a minute, but if this happens, that means. But yeah, so no, it's crazy. So yeah, I'm definitely, yeah. So our two, greatest mysteries right now: what happened, what caused the great disaster, and where the heck did man eaters come from? They're still unanswered right now. They're dropping little small bits and pieces here and there, but ultimately those answers are still they're still unanswered right now. So we're still waiting on to find out what happened with that. Mm-hmm. Another thing that I do like about the show is basically how they basically show how everyone lives in different ways in the society. So like you mentioned, that one group, how they they trick people to come into their city and basically jump them and steal their money. That one girl has sex with the people that comes by and steal not steal their money, but barter for their money and stuff like that. And there was the group of women that's hoarding all these men and keeping them as sex slaves.
Yeah. And
then we did get to see the one wholesome group of people that's just trying to live together in peace, thankfully.
Yeah. He stabbed him. So.
Huh?
Are you talking about the guys that are living together in harmony?
No.
Oh,
I'm talking. This is way back when. This is like the very beginning.
Okay, them. Yes, I thought you were talking about
the people that was out in the mountainside.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the people that like escaped, the boars that escaped, and I was like, no, this is nice. And then, not so nice by the end of this.
It shit turned dark real quick. I was like, okay, everybody that, you know, imprisoned him, they're dead now. You got your son back. Everything's nice. Oh, but wait, your son's a half man eater. And damn, apparently the person who's staying here was the one who ratted you out.
Yeah.
And damn, now you done killed this man. Okay.
And sold their car.
There we go.
And
okay.
sold their goddamn car.
That took a turn. We went from happy to chaotic real fast.
Yes, yeah, no, and it hit very hard too. Like, one thing I will definitely say about the show, like, I love, like, it feels very much like an adventure, and sometimes even very lighthearted adventure, and then shit comes out of nowhere, and it's like, you forgot about the darkness.
Yeah, you forgot man eaters existed in this world.
You forgot about the darkness. This is still a dystopia.
It's still dangerous out here in these streets.
They did such a good job, I think, of like just showing how one would get by in this society, and just like all the different ways, survival, how people persist.
Yeah, and then like even another example, like that one guy who wasn't a doctor, but you know he helped out that one guy with the prosthetic thing. Next thing you know, everybody else started showing up, and he wasn't. You know, that was never his plan. His plan was just to go live a happy life with him and his wife. But then next thing you know, now him and his wife opened up a hospital for just traveling people.
That is such a sad episode. That's like my favorite episode so far of Heavenly Delusion, because I did not expect any of what I got, and it was such a good ride.
That episode did cut deep. It did.
I was so tuned in for everything that happened in that episode, and the way they even like played up the ending of it all was just.
I couldn't watch Maru kill the lady. I had to skip past it.
Oh yeah, no, that was hard. That was hard.
I couldn't do it.
That was hard. I don't know how I got through it, but I did. Oh, that was hard. I almost couldn't get through Kiriko's hallucination when she was getting eaten by the man-eaters.
When it was in the basement? Oh, yeah. Okay,
I was like, this is a little bit too graphic for me. Like she can't even fight back. And I was like, man. Oh, but such a good show. Trauma.
Yeah, that was crazy. I almost thought you was talking about that one time where Mina Hime was talking to one of the new girls that came up. She said her was having visions.
That was fucked up. I ain't gonna. That was fucked up because I squint. I had to. I definitely had to like you know. Made it through though.
I feel you. I feel you 100%. Because when it first popped up, I showed me, oh my, like, oh okay, well, what did this come from?
Because what I'm saying, I'm like, they played it up so much that I wasn't even sure it was a vision at first.
Because notice how at the beginning of the flashbacks, like they didn't show like the kids having powers or anything, but like they did show like these kids were special. But then like slowly but surely, as you keep coming back to the kids later on, you're just like, oh, that kid, he athletic, and is that bunny ears? Like, what is going on? And then you just start slowly seeing it, and then this,
and I was like, I don't put it past this facility to have.
And then the alien like kid, and then I'm like, y'all, that's normal for y'all. And then now I'm understanding why it's not normal, because they basically, it's like I don't know. It's almost, I don't know what they're teaching them something. I don't know necessarily what they're teaching them, but they're not necessarily teaching them the basic, I guess, human. What's the word I'm looking for?
They're teaching them
human development, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I was about to say they're teaching them, I think, is basic like understanding of the world and its laws, and by that I mean like science, math, stuff like that, but not like necessarily how to live as a person. Because when they started when two kids started kissing, they were like, oh, we didn't teach them that.
Yeah, it's almost like they didn't teach them about emotions or anything.
Yeah, I really think like that's why I think like all of them have to be in some way, shape, or form. I don't know if it's like humans mixed in with man eaters or just like straight up man eaters or whatever. But like in some way, shape, or form, these are not regular people. But like this is an experiment to see like what I guess like humanoid man eaters or man eaters in general. Can they live as people, and how does that work?
Either that or they're breeding new bodies to quote unquote become the next evolution in humans and try and steal their bodies as well, because we know once again the director is gonna implant her head into the future director's head, so it could be multiple different experiments going on at once.
Yeah, no, that's true. We really won't know, I feel like, what everything is until like these next couple episodes when shit hit the fan.
I'm gonna be really pissed because I know the season's gonna end on the cliffhanger and half my questions are still not gonna be answered, and I'm just gonna be waiting for a season 2 announcement and just gonna be left alone with my thoughts.
Yep, just ready for the summer anime.
Hopefully they give us the season 2 announcement fairly soon, whenever when season 1 gets done.
Yeah,
hopefully they don't keep us waiting.
Yeah, I would hope as well. Same. With all that being said, you got anything else?
No, because we touched upon.
I think we hit everything.
Honestly. Yeah, we hit up on everything. Just the man eaters, Osaka Academy, and then all the experiments that could be going on, and just no telling what they got going on. Kiriko's person that he's looking for, she's looking for, he's still alive. Maru might be Tokyo's child. Yeah, no, I believe we hit up on everything.
Yeah, no, it's just wild right now. But okay,
and then Maru could have a twin, or like you said, that was that man-eater baby that took a liking to Tokyo and it assumed her form. It's a lot going. It's just so many different plot lines and strings and stories just going all in different directions.
Yeah, I just want to know how many of these are gonna get like a resolution by the next couple episodes.
That's what I want to know. Because they're gonna have to resolve something. I know they're gonna answer everything, but I do want to know what. I'm pretty sure we're just gonna find out
how the school ended.
Yeah, because it looks like all those kids are about to break out of their school.
Yeah,
or not break out, but they're about to let them out.
Yeah, I'm about to say something big is about to happen.
I can't call it a breakout because they said they was just gonna open the door. So they're just
I was gonna say between the robots and the two higher ups and the fucking it's
a lot going on. Definitely, can't wait to see what these last 2 episodes for the season kind of store. 100%. And just like this is what never mind. Ignore me.
Okay. But just wrap it up here and give it its rating. I really like Heavenly Delusion right now. If I had to give it anything, maybe an 8. There's a lot of questions going around all around and stuff like that, and I really feel like when it's over, we'll definitely have to revisit this, but I think when it's over, we'll really determine where it kind of sits for me. But right now it's an 8. It's a really good watch, and it's a really good theory craft type thing. Like, you're really, when you watch it, if you're really paying attention, you're really in tune with everything. You just kind of clamor for like, give me more answers. What else is there, So yeah, I'd probably have to give it an 8 with everything, with that, and also how well it does its characters too.
I'm with you on that. 7, 8, same thing for me. I love mysteries. Mystery is actually one of my favorite genres. I just love getting the story and see if I can basically put all the plot pieces together and figure it out myself and things like that. For when they do reveal it and be like, I was correct.
I did it.
I was right. I knew it. So yeah, mysteries are one of my favorite genres that I'm loving, and this has turned out to be a very, very good mystery with a lot, like I said earlier, just a lot of different plot points just scattered here and there, and they're feeding us different small bits of information here and there and stuff like that. So I'm definitely excited. I'm really excited for the season finale.
I completely agree.
Alrighty, that is the last review on the agenda for today, everybody. Let us know down below in the comments what you guys think, and I'm gonna just hand it on over to McMillian, who's gonna take us on out of here.
Yeah, as always, guys, appreciate you for watching this last listen. If you want to stay up to date on all things about the council, please consider us following us on our social media. That is at Gurren Otaku's on Twitter and at Gurren Otaku Council on everything else. For my audio only listeners, appreciate you as always. Please consider giving us a review, as well as following and sharing the podcast. Helps us grow, helps you share some great content. For those watching on YouTube, likes, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Let us know what you're thinking of Mashle and Heavenly Delusion so far, and like what are you looking forward to for them at the end of this as this season comes to a close. With all that, guys, as always, stay safe out there, enjoy some anime, have a wonderful week. Peace.